Before we get on with this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video.
So I grew up in a dictatorship in the Far East. My father used to say he had 30 years living as an expatriate in all these different places. And he came back when he was 60, and he used to say to me, in this country, I feel less free and less able to do and say what I please versus, let's say he lived in 15 dictatorships, in Asia and Africa and all that sort of stuff. Most of us can't say what we're thinking, and it does feel like the PC brigade and the wokists have won. Surely, at some point, there has to be a major rowing back so that freedom of speech trumps this stuff, because it is being ebbed away. They are chipping away at it, and they're succeeding.
Pendulums go back and forth. We can go to 1658, where the overt celebration of Christmas could lead to imprisonment, to Hogarth's Gin Lane. A few decades later, social pendulums can go back and forth. I do think, this battle, the things you're talking about, I think this is a battle for Western civilization. It's a battle for everything. It's a battle for the values upon which our countries were built, a battle for all that was expended to defend those things, and they are deliberately under attack. It's a real concern. And the march through the institutions of the cultural Marxists. These are real issues, real battles, but when it comes to all of this, we're very reliant on America. Where America goes with this stuff is where we're going to go.
Freedom of speech is enshrined in
the
their
Constitution.
In the Constitution. Yeah. So it is a little bit different there, isn't it? Here you can be prosecuted for...
Yes,
and look, there are lots of things we don't want. Sort of people saying and inciting.
But I do think in terms of tearing down statues, rewriting history, self-loathing, all of these things, I do think winning the battle in America is absolutely key. Absolutely key.
So when does this happen?
Something in me senses it's happening already. I think there is a silent majority waking up to the fact that this stuff is just crazy. I think a swimmer, who was a man, identifies as a woman, who's just winning everything. People say, well, hang on, how's that fair to female athletes? So I think these debates are happening. They are happening, but the biggest worry of all are the educational establishments across the Western world, and that's where government's going to need to be very brave and very radical, and we're going to have to get back to critical thinking and making people understand there are two sides to every argument.
They're so... students are so, they're like sponges. And I remember when I was at university, I'd have lots of sort of sandal-wearing, Guardian-reading lecturers, especially in my sociology, lectures, that they had some really strong views. And, I was probably, young enough and impressionable enough to sort of take that on board. And should there not be some form of, legislation or control?
We have to make sure. There has been talk in the last couple of weeks from the government about this, but talk's cheap. Actions are tougher, and you've got unions to fight and many other things. It needs something very brave and very radical, not just here, but across much of the Western world.
So, we're entrepreneurs. Do you feel like we are fairly treated as small business owners in the United Kingdom by the government?
You're what?
Entrepreneurs, small business owners?
I've never heard of it. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Do you mean you work for GlaxoSmithKline or the European Commission, or you're a civil servant? Or if not, do not compute. You guys have no voice in Westminster. There is no representation for small business, for entrepreneurship. I talked to you earlier on in this interview about the disconnect between those that govern us and the real world out of the country. People like you going out, taking risk, hopefully doing well and making money. I really hope you are, because if you are, you're employing people and paying taxes, and I'm very for both of those things. No, there is no comprehension, no understanding. We're living in an age of corporatism. When the left condemn capitalism, there isn't any. This is corporatism. And this is something where this is something that we really do need to get right, and that's why the next Conservative leadership election, what the question you've just asked me, will be at the very front and centre of much of this, and the right candidate needs to emerge that understands people like you.
But are the public, are they that bothered? You know, the general public don't seem that bothered about this as an issue. Surely.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Surely the whole private
There are
sector.
5.5 million people, right? 5.5 million people out there who are running small companies as directors, limited companies, acting as sole traders. It's a lot of people. And if you add to that, you know, a lot of them will have partners. A lot of them will have a parent or two parents still alive. So quite a lot of them will have kids. You actually start to think about all of that, and you realise 15 to 20 million people are acutely aware of what you're talking about.
A third plus of the population.
Yeah. You know, it is a significant amount.
Yeah.
It is a significant amount, and it just doesn't have the collective voice. The Federation of Small Businesses, I used to get on very well with. I feel they've been corporatised. Just not fighting and standing up as tough as they should. But, you know, leaders can change and things can change. But on those front benches, in the House of Commons, you have a look. You know, there are no small business entrepreneurs there. None.
Some of the backbenchers, maybe.
There are some backbenchers, definitely.
You have them on the show, I see sometimes.
No, of course. And it's a joy.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things...
They're smart people.
One of the things I've tried to do in GB News with that Talking Pints segment at the end is to get people who've come from nothing and been successes. And one of the reasons I love those stories is I hope that's an inspiration to others, that nothing is too difficult, nothing is insurmountable. You just need ambition, belief, optimism.
Rocco Forti,
You know,
Sorrel.
and luck.
Yeah.
And luck as well.
You make your own luck.
You know, well, that was the Gary Playerism, wasn't
Yeah,
it? You know,
yeah.
gee, you're lucky, Gary. It's funny, Sonny. The more I practice, the luckier I get. I still think you do need a bit of luck in life. Of course you do. You know, we're all lucky to be here. You know,
Could be in Africa without running water.
Well, we could be, or in my case, dead from aeroplane crashes and car crashes,
You've
and so
been
you
involved in a
know,
bit of that, haven't
there,
you?
yeah, there is
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, there is a lot of luck in life. You've got to be capable, but there is a bit of luck in life.
Yeah.
But it's that inspiration that people need.
And I just find it bizarre that, you know, the whole private sector, corporates as well, pay for the public sector. The money doesn't come anywhere else
Oh, really?
unless you print it.
Oh, but I thought modern monetary theory was in play now.
Ooh, what, monetary financing,
Yeah, it's
like they
nuts.
tried in the Weimar
It's
Republic.
It's nuts.
It is nuts, and there's not even any gratitude. It's just
No.
sort of they're our masters, and we just have to go along with all of this. And
Yeah.
at some point it might
needs
change.
a redress.
So if you want to watch more videos, you can watch them here or here. Remember to like and subscribe. It's been Mark Homer, over and out.